So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight. So straight into the update tonight, the Tobago House of Assembly has been officially dissolved following a formal request from Chief Secretary Fali Augustine during a preliminary sit-in on Wednesday. While a date is yet to be announced, the move paves the way for the THA election to be held within the 90 days. In his address, Chief Secretary Augustine reflect on his administration tenure. Nothing that is left behind but a legacy of resilience. Listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago.
I am confident, Madam Presiding Officer, that this dissolution does not signal an ending. Rather, it signals a renewal. The baton returns to the people of Tobago where it rightly belongs, so that they may once again decide who will guide the destiny of this, the greatest little island on the planet.
So now, viewers, just weeks before the current term was set to end on December 6th, until the election date is confirmed, the Chief Secretary and Executive Council will continue to function in a limited caretaker capacity. How sad, but nevertheless. Moving along, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has expanded Operation Festive Shield to the Central and Southern Division, following Tuesday's launch in Port of Spain and the Western Division. The initiative brings full police resource to key commercial and residential, also industrial areas as part of the coordinated nationwide effort to enhance safety during the Christmas and Carnival 2026 season. So Trinidad and Tobago, why just wait for Carnival and Christmas to enhance safety? Why not do it right through the year? Well, hopefully, with the new commissioner in place, let's hope that 2026 we're going to see policing, foot patrol, horse patrol, vehicle patrol, a little more in the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, people need to feel safer once more. So moving along now, another update. Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs, Philip Watts, extended best wishes to the Trinidad and Tobago senior men football team on Thursday ahead of their CONCACAF World Cup qualifier against Jamaica this evening, which begins at 8. So we want to wish the boys and them, or let's say the men and them, bring it home for us. The minister met with players along with head coach Dwight York at the Bricks Hotel. Listen to this.
I want to thank you and congratulate you for the good job you have been doing with our young team. Continue, keep up the good work, and we are fully backing you. And I'm fully backing you for coach going forward too, no matter what the result, all right? Yeah.
So Trinidad and Tobago is something I have always been telling you for a little while now. Fake news. How do you detect fake news? Recently in Trinidad, about a week, 2 weeks back, we had an experience on fake news where Trinidad and Tobago citizens were scampering like headless chicken. Imagine that, eh? But nevertheless, beware of fake news meant to undermine ongoing efforts to confront narco traffickers and organized crime. The statement comes after former Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar following a false report from international media CNN on November 11th that the UK had stopped sharing specific intelligence with the US over concerns of the legality of an anti-drug missile strike which have killed almost 70 people since December 2nd. In a post to X on Thursday, Persad-Bissessar posted a video clip of U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio denying the report. Listen to this.
There's reasons why we have those assets in the region, and that is to collect intelligence, and we're actioning on that. Obviously, I won't go any deeper when it comes to intelligence matters. I did see a CNN report yesterday. I'm not going to go into great detail than to say that it's a false story. It's a fake story. And what's happening now is people with a business card that has a government email on it become sources because they don't know, they're not even in the know. So they either have an agenda or they want to make themselves important. And it's been a plague of story after story that's either inaccurate or misleading.
So Trinidad and Tobago, how big can fake news be? Well, you heard for yourself from CNN. Rubio labeled Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro a narco-terrorist regime supplying illegal drugs to the US and Europe.
They're also a transshipment organization that allows these groups to operate from their national territory. They allow drugs to be shipped. They openly cooperate with the shipping of these drugs towards the United States and Europe, by the way, so maybe they should be thanking us.
Prasad Bisasa said her government remained steadfast in its partnership with the US as they take decisive coordinated action to stem the flow of drugs, guns, and human trafficking into Trinidad and Tobago. The PM reiterated that the Caribbean cannot be a zone of peace unless decisive action is taken to eliminate the flow of illegal drugs. So Trinidad and Tobago, like I said before, has our Caribbean been a zone of peace? Some say Kamala is supporting the US, but the thing is she is taking a stand. We all say the zone of peace. The CARICOM leaders, they are saying the zone of peace. But the thing is Trinidad and Tobago a land of the peace? Ask yourself that. In every community, for the last 2 decades, there is killing, human trafficking, illegal firearm, marijuana, cocaine, house breaking in. Imagine that, eh? Last thing you have your vehicle in front of your house. But the CARICOM leaders are saying the zone of peace is being interrupted. How can we have a zone of peace when the island itself, the country itself, is not at peace? Ask yourself that. Ask Amy Brown that. Ask Penelope Beckles that. If we have a zone of peace, ask the Caribbean leaders if their country is a country of peace, and then you will hear the truth. Now Trinidad and Tobago, the British High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago, John Dean, has reaffirmed the UK partnership with TNT on its deep and long-lasting relationship from education and culture to sport. He made these comments while celebrating the 77th birthday of King Charles III with a reception at the High Commissioner residence on Thursday. Listen to this.
Dwight York's success in the UK opened doors in football for Caribbean players, while enriching British football and deepening the cultural ties between our countries. I join the people of Trinidad and Tobago in wishing Dwight and the national football team every success in their qualifying match against Jamaica.
So the High Commissioner, Dean, touched on the subject of visa requirement put in place for TNT nationals, reiterating that this was due to an increase in asylum seekers at the UK border. He reaffirmed that it does not affect the strength and bilateral ties with Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine that, eh? Listen to this.
You are all welcome to the UK. Now more than ever, working together on shared priorities is vital, and the UK remains committed to partnering with the government of Trinidad and Tobago to advance areas of mutual interest, such as climate action, sustainable growth, and the fight against serious organised crime.
So while the UK will put in restrictions as visa requirements for Trinidad and Tobago nationals entering the UK, what was Amy Brown doing about this? But he's jumping right now on Kamala because of what? The US is bombing drug cartels on the Caribbean Sea or on international waters. But Brown couldn't fix the issue with Trinidad and England come into a visa. See? So do so I like so. So that what I tell you on TV sometime. Brown need to zip his mouth. I don't care if you like it or not. Zip your mouth. Now is not the time he should be back in. Also noted the Britain commitment to climate resilience, announcing new funding support through the Green Climate Fund. He also reported the remarkable increase in trade between two nations. Try and see if you go listen to this.
Just last month, the fund approved $24.1 million US for adaptation projects in both Belize and Trinidad and Tobago, strengthening hydrometeorological systems and building robust early warning capability. Between July 2024 and June 2025, total trade in goods and services between our two nations reached an incredible £1.3 billion.
But brought back in. Minister of Foreign and Caribbean Affairs, Sean Sobers, highlighted the importance of innovation in diplomacy and leadership. One more time.
By embracing diversity and fostering inclusive practices, women leaders, such as our Honorable Prime Minister, are setting a precedent for innovation and driving long-term success.
Kola, good night. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Go right ahead, you're live, my dear.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Good night.
When Penny Beckers go keep she more quiet and stop gallivanting like them donkeys and them.
Hey! Hey, Tanti! Let me use them word. I do apologize for the cutting, but Trinidad and Tobago, you know I don't tolerate word name calling through the callers. That is one thing I don't do. Let me do it. I could answer for me, but I can't answer for the caller. My dear, thank you so much, but I mean, you could have used something better than that. There are kids looking at the program. So viewers, what do you think now about fake news? I realize that we are getting it a lot now. A lot. Recently was scampering. Like chicken without a head. The whole country. About a week or two back, everybody was scampering for life. Oh, the US going to bomb Venezuela. And Trump had to come out now on Air Force One and deny that. We don't have intentions of bombing Venezuela or even invading Venezuela. Imagine that, eh? Now, I'll tell you something. This is why I just always say, listen to the source. Listen to when the ministers come out and say something. Listen, pay attention. Don't be like headless chicken. I often say that. I often say that. But you know, there are some social media hogs and them, who would like to spread rumors and rumors of war. We would hear that. Why? See a little paper? People just get stupid when they get a little money. A long time, my grandmother and grandfather used to use these words. Never see, come see. So if you never see money and you see a little bit of money, you know what happening? It's going to blow your brains. So that is why I just always say, listen to the sources. I told you there is going to be no war. I told you that before it started to circulate. Where the war? The troops are in the Caribbean Sea or on international waters because Trump says too much drugs and guns and illegal immigrants are coming into his country, and he decided to put a stop date. You see any CARICOM leaders putting a stop date? Nobody. But we vex with Kamala now for taking a stance. Leave it to Stuart Chung and Dr. Rowley, we get sanctioned. I feel if we did get sanctioned, some of you would have been happy. Let all the foreign investors who invested in Trinidad pack up their suitcase, pack it on their boat and their plane, and they fly back to the country they come from. And then we would have been happy. When we reach like Africa or the Sahara Desert, Or if we ended up like Guyana, before Guyana started to bloom, we would have been happy because we was happy under the PNM administration swallowing boulders. We was happy that way. When Rowley tell you tighten your belt, you was happy. When Rowley said win off the government, we was happy. And? Call a good night. Trans-Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on. There's lots more when we return.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad Bacchanal with St. Vincent Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves. Imagine. Anel Roberts. What is our Prime Minister doing? Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is standing by her Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Anel Roberts, following his social media expose online irregularities in the acquisitions of 3 AGC units at the upscale Victoria Keys development in Digomartin by relatives of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves. On Wednesday, Roberts used his social media blog to question how Gonsalves' family came to own 3 first-floor AGC apartments valued at $1.96 million, $1.625 million, and $1.3 million, respectively. Persad-Bissessar said PM Gonsalves was free to take any course of action he deemed fit, including pursuing legal proceedings as she viewed the situation of a legitimate cause for concern. Meanwhile, in a social media video, Elios Gonzalez described the controversy as political malice, as general election in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are scheduled to take place on November 27th.
While I love St. Vincent and the Grenadines with all my heart, I was born in Trinidad, and I am Trinidadian with roots in Dominica. After my then 90-year-old mother's property was destroyed in Hurricane Maria, we as a family invested in property in Trinidad, where two of my mother's sons, my brothers, and her grandchildren reside. We bought the apartments at market rate after our family suffered a tragedy.
Speculating that the confusion was started by Revival St. Vincent Party, as NDP. She said, soon they will expose a contract for an immensely qualified engineer who is building a modern hospital. Woo! Well, then, Trinidad and Tobago, we had to see what this entails. Listen to this.
These power-hungry people will stop at nothing to destroy all the good that SVG represents. Ask yourself, if these wicked men are willing to demonize our family, put the modern hospital at risk, and ruin our country's reputation, what would they be willing to do to you and your family?
So viewers, is she hinting something? I don't know, I'm asking. She said soon they're going to expose her contract. Is she hinting Trinidad and Tobago? Or is she giving St. Vincent people a hint of something to come that shouldn't be in the public domain? I wonder who's the engineer. Today some birds called, man, they started to whistle from St. Vincent. I was like, wow, so that's the engineer. I wonder if her family have anything to do with it. In the coming days, we'll find out if her son has anything to do with this building. But nevertheless, let it talk, start talking, and then we're going to show documents. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Trinidad and Tobago. You know, birdies always whistling to me. You know, Navin like to hear the bird whistling here. Toodly doodly doodly doo doo doo. And then they talk this talk, and then the document has come out, and then the individual has come and has make their podcast, and we don't hear them again. But nevertheless, we go wait and we go see who is this engineer. Now, despite the brewing controversy, Passat Business has confirmed that an investigation is currently underway into the matter. We'll stick a pin on it, and we will hear the second part of the story coming out Trinidad and Tobago with paper trail, hopefully. You know, I always know. So viewers, we're going to St. Vincent now. The Prime Minister, Ralph Gonzalez, said he is weighing his legal option after a false claim was made against him and his family in the acquisition of 3 HDC apartments in Trinidad by Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Anil Roberts. Listen to Anil.
I've referred certain matters to my lawyers who are in Trinidad, to a senior counsel. I wouldn't name the senior counsel yet. There's a bundle of issues, legal issues which arise, those which touch upon the question of defamation, and those which touch upon breach of constitutional rights.
So Trinidad and Tobago, in 2018, they made the application. And a few days after, on April 20th, I believe is the date, 2025, it was signed off on rent to own. But we can stick up in right there, as I say, there's more to come. Now, speaking on state-owned NBC Radio in St. Vincent on Wednesday, Gonzalez accused of engaging in political mischief. He denies using political connection to secure any preferential treatment for his wife and children. Gonzalez.
I never spoke to anybody in the government of Trinidad and Tobago or seek to influence anybody in the government, the state administration, or otherwise to accord preferential treatment to these three citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. That's the first point. They have done nothing which is illegal, nothing which is immoral, nothing which is unethical. It doesn't reach any of those levels.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, we have our homeland people who have been applying for HGC house way before 2018. Way before. Some of them 20 years, some of them 25 years, some of them 30 years, and still can't get a house or an apartment. Are they underqualified? I don't know, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Gonzalez added that his wife and children are paying regular mortgage for their respective properties, and there was no improper involvement in this. Listen to Ralph one more time.
Eloise's mom decided that, look, I will pay a down payment through her for an apartment in Trinidad. Of course, the down payment isn't enough to buy the apartment. So Eloise took out a mortgage here on a property she has here, and she pays monthly that mortgage. That's how that property was purchased. There's no gift, there's no benefit, there's no insider trading, nothing at all, which is unlawful, unethical.
Call good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed. Great program. We must never forget HGC have their own bubble corruption ethics, not today, from the inception, since long before. So all of this is nothing new. But anyway, Mr. Saieed, a man's reputation is made by other people.
Correct.
And his character is made by himself.
Correct.
For himself. Like in your case, your reputation is made by the citizens of this country.
True.
And the world, wherever your program is looking on at you. And your reputation is great. People praise you for your reputation, what you are doing for your country and your fellow men in this country, the citizens. Your character is impeccable, unquestionable.
True.
And you build that for yourself. Now, I have 34 years of experience in national security. I work every aspect of national security. I was trained locally and foreign. I never said it on your programs, but there's something brewing up and you hear people talking. So I want to say it and play. So when I present my facts on your program, I do research. I have 8 people with over 30 years experience in national security. One of them is a retired special branch officer on medically unfit. He knows Gavero very good.
Good.
So when, you know, a con man is a man who manipulates everything. He manipulates the truth. He manipulates the fact to present it for himself, to benefit himself. So when you see and what Gavero is doing, and today papers had an article, maybe, I don't know if I can call the name of the papers on your program, but one of the print media had an article from Gary Griffith today, and I want the citizens to read it. And you will see, Gavero is not a con man. He is a notorious con man because everything he manipulates. And read that article, citizen of this country. And this man brought nothing new to the table in national security. And we will only talk for the last 2 weeks what's happening in the police service in this country. Every crime. Look at what's happening in this house of ill repute with these Venezuelan girls. Look, every day police are being charged for involvement in all kind of racket, all kind of thing in this country. What Gavero is in, he praising himself. That's all he's doing. And Mr. Saieed, I know your intelligence already informed you. And what is happening? Southern Command is is a command in the United States.
Yes.
Command and Control Center responsible for security in the Caribbean.
Yes.
You know where they are today? I know you know this, your intelligence would have picked it up. You know where they are today? In Guyana.
Yeah.
Meeting with the Guyana security personnel, national security. Not Trinidad, And they have equipment here where they is to communicate with everyday intelligence that pass to them. They share intelligence with us, and we share it with other Caribbean countries. They are in Guyana today. If I am a notorious criminal, I was charged several criminal charges. You want to share intelligence with me? I'm meeting criminals in prison, notorious criminals. You want to share intelligence with me? And your police commissioners are notorious guy, Mr. Saieed, great program. You keep up the great work you are doing. This country will fix, God bless you and your program, Mr. Saieed.
Thank you, my friend. You see, and it's the same thing I said recently, a few days back, I said the same thing. The UNC have been in power for almost 6 months now. They have created all their policies. It's time now that employment, road, security, schools, hospital, starts employment. It's time the ball start rolling. All the time the ball was standstill, moss was growing on it. We had a team, we clean up the moss, we bring on new policies. Now it's time to go forward. So let's hear what they have to say. But to finish the story, viewers, the Prime Minister also clarified, we talk about Ralph Gonzalez, he also clarified that he held no personal animosity towards Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, where he described her stance on the Caribbean remaining a zone of peace as misguided. Listen to this.
I didn't disrespect Kamala. I disagreed with her. And I used a gentle formulation that I thought a characterization of the region. There are 14 countries in CARICOM. 13 of us currently say that the Caribbean and Latin America is a zone of peace. She does not accept that characterization anymore. And I thought that she is misguided in that regard. That is the most gentle of disagreements. But of course, in Mr. Roberts' mind, it is gross disrespect and so on.
So viewers, wasn't he the same man who fled his country to Barbados for medical attention sometime last year? Y'all remember that? But nevertheless, I give all of that to hold and to remember. We're going for a short commercial break, but still locked on. When we come back, we go find out from Benjamin where Fet promoters will be keeping Fet when Carnival arrives. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So viewers, welcome back to Real Talk. Now, the Minister of Public Utilities, Barry Patharat, has confirmed that the Minister of Culture and Community Development, Misha Benjamin, will take the lead in discussion with promoters and event stakeholders on appropriate venues to host their event. Minister Patharat addressed media questions on Thursday regarding Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bissa's move to restrict the Brian Lara Cricket Academy and other UDCOT venues in residential area exclusively in sporting activities, banning fets. Listen to this.
But obviously, as I said, there will be dialogue, obviously, but there must be alternatives to the current usage of UDCOT facilities. And I think that is what the Honorable Prime Minister is saying, that there must be zones as well. There must be alternative spaces. It cannot be interfering with people's rest and comfort in terms of these facilities that are within residential areas.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I read an article today about promoters saying that over 100,000 people will be losing their jobs because of the fact that the Brian Lara Cricket Academy will not be hosting any more fets again. So I want to ask these promoters, before Brian Lara Stadium existed, where were you all keeping your fets? Where were you all keeping your fets? Now, I have nothing against the promoters. I have nothing against people enjoying themselves. That's their thing. Nothing wrong with that. Some people like to go party. That will help them. That's their thing. Nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, I want to ask the promoters in Trinidad and Tobago, before the Brian Lara Cricket Academy existed, where were you all keeping your fets? Were you creating 100,000 jobs in one fet? You see, sometimes me being a businessman and a Trinidadian, I just wonder where these promoters get these figures from, you know. It's sad. So what about all the avenues there before the Brian Lara? Or let's choose to label the Brian Lara. Sad. It stinks. It stinks. I just had to laugh. So let me ask you something. Before high-end vehicle came out in Trinidad, with all them promoters driving high-end vehicle while making a profit from the fed that they promote, what vehicle you all used to drive before the high-end vehicle come out? You know, none of them promoters won't come out and say something. The people in the community complaining about noise. about noise and noise and noise. But promoter, do you all show respect for the community who complaining? No, you all show no respect. All you care about is the money in your pocket that you make after the fete. That is all I care about. So now that Prime Minister said there are going to be no fetes in Brian Lara, all you come out and say now, well, hey, Carnival done. Carnival come once a year. One time for the year. Like Christmas, one time for the year. Like Emancipation, one time for the year. Once. I want to see what papers are printing and all that blah blah in all them out tomorrow. I want to see what papers are printing in. If you all used to listen to the EMA about the decibels play underneath that, it would have been different. But who caused the problem? I want to hear Online Express on the Guardian on the news there tomorrow. I want to let call the media and keep a conference. Who they spoil the thing? We the people. We the people spoiling we own thing in Trinidad. For years, the people around Brian Lara complaining about the noise and the noise and the noise. Promoters, I want to hear what the villagers saying. So now, put all your tail between all your leg, and put all your tongue between all your teeth, and bite it. That is what you have to do now. Come out now on the papers tomorrow now and say another 100,000 jobs got lost. Come out and say that, and I will be ready for you tomorrow night again. It sucks. All of a sudden, 100,000 jobs lost. All of a sudden, Brian Lara get banned, 100 people lost work. All of a sudden. But when the people was complaining around the surroundings about the noise pollution, all I was smiling because all I was making money and nobody are telling all you nothing. All you happy. All you smiling from ear to ear. Now all a leg between all a tail between all a leg, 100,000 people lost work. All of a sudden, oh, Carnival is a killer for Carnival. Carnival is every month in the year. So every month all are celebrating Carnival in Trinidad. Again, I will say, who they spoil we? We as our people, they spoil everything good for we self. For we self. Call her good night.
Yes, hi, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Yes, hi, you're talking about a real nice topic there, partner. Let me tell you something. You see that noise pollution thing? It's real serious.
Yes.
Because let me tell you something, right? Right on the main road by me here, they have a bar and they just host events. Let me tell you something, right? They only have parking for 3 vehicles in front of the bar. And when they have an event, they put on a stage and they put on a 8x8 in the yard. And what has happened? All the patrons parking in front of people's gates. So when you're trying to get in your place and get out, there's a problem. And then play music till 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning. So let me tell you something, right? You see this initiative with the Prime Minister coming with this noise pollution? Let people come straight. You want to have an event? Make sure you have parking for patrons. Make sure your noise level proper. Make sure you have a proper venue. And let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. You know why these promoters kicking up fuss for this Brian Lara Stadium? When you're renting from the government, or you're renting anyway, like publicly from a public place, you just pay small money for that inside. Small money. Next to nothing for the venue, you know. And that is where they're kicking again because them can't go and pay the money. You think they want to go and spend $20,000, $50,000, $50,000 to rent a venue to host a fest when they can get it for a fraction of the price?
True.
That is where they're kicking again. And they need to pay all the money because that $1 million profit that you're talking about there, you know. So they need to come good and go and pay their money and get a venue. And I try to figure out how this 100,000, see this 100,000 jobs thing?
I try to wonder.
That is a PNM math there, so we don't try to really work out that too much. And people wondering why Brian Lara? Ask yourself, we had a sports minister, a former sports minister of Shampa Kojo for umpteen amount of years. You think anybody want to play cricket and football side? They be real now. They never promote the sport. So that's why they used to use the stadium for only fest. But now we have a government here that's willing to promote sports and willing to do the correct thing with the stadium, people vex at that. You really can't play Trinis on the side. You really can't please them.
We spoiling we own thing.
And watch me, before I go, I'm waiting to see how this whole thing plays out with Ras Gonzalez and Robert. Because I'm going to tell you something. That is blatant corruption in HDCS. People need to understand that. So stop defending the man. That is corruption you're talking about it. Because if you don't have a BIR number side, you have to also take that file and put it one side until they get things in order and then start a process. That is corruption. And what these three ministers in HDC had to do now, they had to start to weed out and see all the PNM people, high-ranking PNM people that get HDC houses and how much properties they own in for the last regime side. Anyhow, you enjoy your night.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, earlier this week, Pasad Business said fireworks legislation and enhanced noise pollution laws will be introduced by the end of this year. The Minister of Land and Legal Affairs, Saddam Hussein, confirmed that the process has begun. Listen to this.
Have the legislation being worked upon by the Law Reform Commission. It's in its final stages, and that is legislation that will also come to the Parliament as promised by the Prime Minister.
So viewers, we're going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on. This next story, you all will love it.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So viewers, those of you who have been waiting for land from the LSE, land security was granted to 103 persons as they received certificates of comfort by the Land Settlement Agency LSE under the Ministry of Land and Legal Affairs. At the certificate of comfort distribution ceremony at the Shoguners Borough Corporation on Thursday, Minister of Land and Legal Affairs Saddam Hussein said the Land Settlement Agency's main goal is to care for the most vulnerable in society, including squatters, by delivering residential lease and certificates of comfort. Look at the Trinidad and Tobago.
As a government, we did it on the 12th of August 2025, where in 100 days in office, we were able to deliver 200 residential leases to ex-Caroni workers who have waited almost 20 years for their leases. And then again, on the 16th of October 2025, we delivered another 100 leases to those ex-Caroni workers.
Chairman of the Land Settlement Committee, Misha Matura Allah said, the process is not just about land, but about the transformation of informal occupant into full legal property ownership.
Step 1 is the granting of the Certificate of Comfort. This is where it all begins. It gives you protection from removal from the land that you occupy and formally recognizes your right to stay and to be part of the process. Step 2 is the statutory lease, and this should grant to you a 30-year period, interest-free, to complete the highly subsidized payment for your lot.
Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live, my friend.
So, Saeed, as much as for the noise pollution, sometimes it could be a nuisance. Putting into the Brangara Stadium. You hear me good?
I hear you, go right ahead.
Putting into the Brangara Stadium and the fets, etc. Before they cancel all fets, which is the government right to do so.
Yes.
But they should have, all they have to do is instruct promoters to turn all stages to an eastern direction.
Okay.
That will eliminate all the songs going to residents, because most of the residents that are being affected will be residents in Kupola, which is across the highway. So if they face the stage east of the stadium, the song will go towards the hills where you have no residents, basically. So that is a suggestion that the public can look at.
Okay, so all they had to do is just change the direction of the stage.
Of the stages, yes. So they let the song go to the east. Let the song face the east.
Alright, so if the stage facing the east, the breeze would blow the sound on the hills.
It will, remember the song will be going east.
Okay.
Most of the time, the breeze, only when the breeze blow, the residents across the highway, they are affected. But if the song is facing east, it wouldn't go back, which is west. It wouldn't go back west.
Okay.
And west is across the highway. And as long as they face it that direction, problem.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So let me hear what the ministers will do. I mean, it's going viral now, so let me hear what they would do. So Trinidad and Tobago, Misha, what she said is that the statutory lease allows the landowner to pay 25% of the open market value for the allocation lot for over a 30-year with zero interest. Zero interest. Well, at least that's good. No interest. There have been almost 2,000 oil spill in Trinidad and Tobago over the last 9 years. The figure was shared by the Minister of Energy and Energy's Industry, Dr. Rudal Monilal. He also highlighted the need to promote a revised national oil spill contingency plan on Tuesday. Listen to Monilal.
51 spills in 2016, 302 spills in 2023 and 180 spills to June 2025. In total, 92,335 barrels were spilled. Heritage and its predecessor Petrotrin were responsible for 80% of the number of oil spills and 94% of the barrels of oil spilled.
Now, viewers, the minister noted that the increase in the number of oil spills has devastating effects on the local economy, land and marine ecosystem. Munila.
It is imperative to promote a revised national oil spill contingency plan. This initiative requires not only government action, but also strong collaboration with industry stakeholders. There will be a reactivation of the National Oil Spill Contingency Committee with broad participation from relevant government agencies, industry, civil groups, the labor movement, etc., with a mandate to develop recommendations.
So now, viewers, Munilal highlighted the government's progress on this initiative. So let's see the progress they got. Munilal.
I can indicate to you that we have already had discussions with the Honorable Attorney General for consideration to be given to the introduction of legislation to incorporate these conventions into national law.
So Trinidad and Tobago. So here is Bacchanal now. We head into Tobago. The Tobago House of Assembly Secretary of Health, Dr. Faith, has defended the Tobago Regional Health Authority decision to lease ambulance at a cost of $9 million, while approximately $16 million was spent on procuring 12 ambulances. During the Tobago House of Assembly sit-in, a preliminary sit-in on Wednesday, Minority Leader Kelvin Morris questioned the Tobago Regional Authority position on the lease of the ambulance. Now, in a response, Dr. Faith confirmed the leasing arrangement and noted that the delivery of the ambulance is on a phased basis. Listen to this.
The arrangement that was made included us having those delivered on a phased basis, Madam Presiding Officer, so that they are not all delivered at the same time, and therefore they do not come to the end of their life at the same time, which is what happened with the last set of ambulances that was procured maybe 15 or so years ago, which is why we are in the position we are in now, where we have to provide options to supplement the service.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. I see these ambulances and watch me. It's such a shame to know these ambulances could have been procured by the Tobago House. Listen to this.
Spending $9 million on ambulance services 2022 to now, leased services to ensure that we provide the type of service that is needed for the island, is actually value for money, and it is part of what it costs to provide health care to the people of Tobago.
On tomorrow show, I'll get picture the ambulance and surely, and you tell me if it's value for money. Trinidad and Tobago, we have run out of time tonight, but nevertheless, tomorrow night live. Good night.